On today's episode of Time About the Movies, we're wrapping July up with 5 movies, including the star-studded comedy The Watch, featuring Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn, Jonah Hill, directed by Akiva Schaffer, written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Sounds like an all-around winner, right? We'll talk about it. We'll also talk about the latest Step Up movie, Step Up Revolution. We also have some notable indie movies. The follow-up for Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Faris after Little Miss Sunshine, Ruby Sparks. We have, I just had it. Matthew McConaughey in one of his more underrated films, Killer Joe, and the documentary Searching for Sugarman. July 27, 2012. Let's see how the month wrapped up. Next on Time About the Movies.
There is an alien invasion happening. They're among us.
That's why I founded the Neighborhood Watch.
Any one of these people could be an alien.
Check her out.
It's like she's studying some new discovery. Should I put it in my flavor snout?
Wait a second, I've seen this stuff before.
Have you just won Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Award?
Here we go. Jackets for the watch.
Tiger with wings.
The tiger, flames, and wings all in the same logo. It's like the Chinese symbol for shut up and dance.
Franklin, what are you doing? Who are these people?
Damn it, Mom, stay out of my room.
I'm sorry, Mima. I was trying to impress my friends. I was trying to be a big man. I love you.
Shh.
I have this one scenario in my mind. Sexy Asian housewife alone at night. Best call than watch. And then she sucks.
Okay, well.
I'm also interested in that happening to me.
We're not going to let Glenview be ground zero for some alien invasion.
We can't trust anyone. Look at his face.
Look at my face.
Look at his face and listen to me.
Look at him and listen to me.
Look at me.
Look at me.
Look at him and understand me. Look at both of us but understand no one. Listen to my words and hear his face. I found something.
Nobody touches this ball till we figure out what it is. Whoa! Gee, that's terrible for the cow, but this thing's awesome. And first thing in war is lost is innocence.
Yeah! Anything from outer space, kill it.
Die! Die! This thing's a goner for sure.
So you can kind of see the potential with this particular film, but yeah, you have to watch the movie to realize that, yeah, this really isn't that great. Welcome to Time About the Movies, everybody. Today we are taking a look at the 5 films that make up July 27, 2012. We start off with The Watch, previously known as Neighborhood Watch. We'll delve into why that was changed in just a moment, but it stars Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn, Jonah Hill, and Richard Ayoade from the IT crowd, if you will, as a group of neighbors who form a suburban neighborhood watch group when they uncover an extraterrestrial discovery. In the trailer, you see them all talking about how, there's aliens all among them, and you got a pretty good idea for an interesting movie here. I mean, it's directed by Akiva Schaffer, who gave us Hot Rod. Just recently, of course, he gave us The Naked Gun. Jared Stern, one of the writers of the Lego Movie. Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg. Of course, they've written a lot of great stuff. A cast that also includes Rosemary DeWitt and the late Arlie Ermey. This was actually the last thing he was in before he died. So, there are a lot of pieces there for a really good movie. So, what went wrong? Right from the beginning of the marketing campaign, pretty much, because we're not even kidding around here when we say this, but the movie's marketing campaign began in early February with the title Neighborhood Watch, but then they changed it because of the Trayvon Martin shooting. I'm not even kidding, that's actually what they did. A month after they started the marketing campaign, there was the George Zimmerman shooting Trayvon Martin, and so basically they changed the entire marketing campaign and made it specifically about the alien premise of the movie instead of the film's leads, and the film's title eventually was changed over to The Watch. That was the first thing that went wrong with this movie. The second thing that went wrong, the movie itself came out, and it was a jumbled mess of a movie, man. It has a lot of the same problems that the movie Evolution had 11 years prior. A movie that had a good concept overall, but really felt like there was something missing in terms of the story. There was something missing about with the comedy in general. There's a lot of product placements in this movie. Jokes that are just lame, gross-out humor jokes for the sake of being lame, gross-out humor jokes. I mean, That scene in the end where they're shooting the alien is funny, but then they extend this gag to unbearable levels when they have a party when they have like parties up with it, they take pictures with it, and not realizing that the alien's alive. Like, if there was actually something funny with it, then maybe I could give it a shot here, but I'd give it a fair balance. But it just wasn't there with this movie, man. This thing started off actually as a team-targeted project before it eventually saw different people coming in here. So it was a script that was written all over the place, that was completely all over the place, really had no potential to really get going, even with the star talent that they had involved in here. These are all very funny people, but they're just given nothing to do here except just be lazy, have gross out humor for the sake of gross out humor, and that's about it. I mean, this movie sucks, man. This was a big, big disappointment overall. And, you know, some people will say that, oh, because we had the Aurora, Colorado shootings the week before, the movie was going to flop anyway. Well, the movie was going to flop even if that shooting didn't happen. Let's just be honest with you. This is a lame movie, which wastes a lot of good talent, a lot of good people from writer, director to star. It's a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time, a major disappointment, a major letdown on so many levels. So yeah, you could skip the watch, and you should probably do so. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie. How about some fun times all around? Step Up Revolution.
A way to shout. It's like us saying, listen up. We exist. On July 27th,
I want in.
join the revolution.
Whoever you guys are, we love you.
Step Up Revolution. Rated PG-13 in 3D and 2D theaters July 27th.
Yes, the fourth installment of the Step Up series, and if you've seen the other Step Up movies, then you pretty much got an idea of what you're going to get with this particular film. In this movie, the mob sets the dancing against the vibrant backdrop of Miami. Emily arrives in Miami with aspirations of becoming a professional dancer, and soon falls in love with Sean, played by Ryan Guzman, a young man who leads a dance crew in elaborate cutting-edge flash mobs called the Mob. When a wealthy businessman, played by Peter Gallagher, threatens to develop the mob's historic neighborhood and displace thousands of people, Emily must work together with Sean and the mob to turn their performance art into protest art and risk losing their dreams to fight for a greater cause. So, it's essentially a breaking sequel. I mean, it's literally the type of movie that South Park literally made fun of with the episode Aspen, you know, the whole thing about, you know, saving the rec center and all that by throwing down the K-13. It's pretty much that type of a storyline here, and yeah, it's pretty story-wise, it's pretty lame, but you're not really going into this to the story overall. You're here to see the dancing scenes here, and they are really elaborate and really cool to look at. I mean, these are very nicely put together scenes, and in 3D, that's a ton of fun to watch overall. You've got some recognizable younger talents in here. Like I said, Ryan Guzman. You have Twitch in here, Tommy Dewey, Cleopatra Coleman from The Last Man on Earth, and most recently in Clipped on Hulu. I mean, there's a lot of good talent in this movie, and again, you're really just going in here specifically for the dancing scenes, and they're in 3D too, and they are fun dancing scenes overall, and for that, I give the movie a fair shake on that. I mean, it's a movie that's built to be just a silly fun time overall, considering what had happened the week before, and everything that had been going on up to that point, in terms of, like, these shootings and all that. This is a nice little break from the action, from the reality of the world, and just going in there, having a good time with it. Don't go in there expecting a great story overall. If you go into it watching for the cool dance sequences and great musical numbers, then you get it in this movie. It's a movie that's clearly knows what its audience is and knows that it's not going in there for anything too deep or anything too groundbreaking. It's really fun overall. I really enjoy it. Step Up Revolution. What more can you say? So now let's get to easily the best movie of the week. It's the follow-up for Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Ferris after Little Miss Sunshine. This is Ruby Sparks.
Why do you think you're not writing?
I don't know. I get a good idea, and then, bam, I start thinking that is the stupidest thing ever.
Tell me about it.
Ruby Sparks, 26 years old, raised in Dayton, Ohio.
Why Dayton?
Sounds romantic. Ruby got kicked out of high school for sleeping with her art teacher, or maybe her Spanish teacher. I haven't decided yet.
I'm glad you found something that inspires you.
Inspires me to fall in love with her.
That's wonderful.
I can't fall in love with the girl I write.
Why not?
She's not real.
I missed you in bed last night. Did you get some good writing done? Calvin Are you mad at me?
Remember how Dad used to say I had an overactive imagination?
That's Kelvin, there's no possible way that Ruby's in your house because she's not a real person.
Can you see her?
She's real.
Ruby!
What is going on with you?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
You're so sick.
There's got to be some logical explanation.
People don't appear out of thin air.
She did.
How?
I don't know how. It's love. It's magic.
Have you tried writing more? Write something about her and see if it comes true. If it does, this is a miracle.
That was insane! You manifested a woman with your mind.
You can make her do anything you want.
For men everywhere, tell me you're not going to let that go to waste.
This is the true and impossible story of my very great love, Ruby Sparks. You may see this and think it's magic,
Hi, Ruby. Hi.
but falling in love is an act of magic.
You don't know jack about women.
I know Ruby.
I wrote her.
Just don't tell me how it ends, okay?
I won't.
I promise.
So you got a little bit of a mix here between not just Little Miss Sunshine, but also Stranger Than Fiction, and also a little bit of weird science in there as well. And from the premise, you can definitely see why. Paul Dano stars as an anxious novelist whose fictional character Ruby Sparks, played by Zoe Kazan, who also wrote the script for this, comes to life and struggles to reconcile his ideal vision of her with her increasing independence. And, I mean, this isn't quite as good as Little Miss Sunshine is, but you know, it's been 6 years since their last movie together, and the fact that they waited this long to make a film like this, and it turns out to be a really solid film. You do buy into the chemistry between Paul Dano and Zoe Kazan. You do buy into Paul Dano believing that he can't believe that this woman that he created is literally here. I mean, it's also kind of a precursor to something like Her, which would come out the year later. Has kind of a similar concept overall, except that's done with AI, and this is done with a real person. But you also have a cast that also includes a lot of notable names in here. Chris Messina, Annette Bening, Antonio Banderas, Steve Coogan, Elliot Gould. All very good in here. And the film is very well done. It is definitely a nice, heartwarming, heartfelt film that, again, kind of got pushed off to the side once Her came out, because Her kind of had a similar concept to it in terms of the similar storyline and all that. But kind of like with Stranger Than Fiction, this is a really good, underrated film, and one that I think definitely deserves a lot more attention. These two directors really have not missed overall as directors, because they followed this up with Battle of the Sexes with Steve Carell and Emma Stone, which was about the battle between, I think it was John McEnroe and Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs, and it was a really good movie. Again, kind of got pushed off to the side and didn't have the same kind of box office success or critical success that Little Miss Sunshine or even this movie did, but it was still a really good movie. These two have not missed as directors, and they do take their time to find the perfect project, and so far, being 3 for 3, they have done a very good job of creating the right project overall, and this is another real winner overall. One of my favorite movies of the year, one of my favorite romantic comedies. I really enjoyed the hell out of this one. Ruby Sparks, can't recommend this one enough. Definitely check it out. So, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, and it's Matthew McConaughey in Killer Joe.
Joe Cooper got a little business on the side.
What'd you do?
He kills people.
Whose murder we're talking about?
Who would like to say grace? Killer Joe.
Hello, Joe. Sorry, I had a Simpsons joke there, but I did not remember. I completely forgot. This was directed by William Friedkin. This was actually the last movie he directed before his death in 2023, and you know, he had the success early on with The French Connection and The Exorcist, and then his career kind of dipped a little bit in the 90s and 2000s, but, you know, hey, at least he ends his career on a high note here. This is written by Tracy Letts, a very underrated character actor that you see in a lot of different movies and all that, and, you know, you could forget that he's a writer, too, and he wrote this along with another movie that came out, I think, the following year, August Osage County, too. But yeah, this was around the time when Matthew McConaughey's career was kind of on a rebound with this and Magic Mike and also Bernie. But this is one that I think kind of gets pushed off to the side a little bit, but man, is it a really good movie. You got the estranged family of a woman, played by Juno Temple, scheming to kill her in order to collect on her life insurance policy, and conspiring with a corrupt police officer, played by Matthew McConaughey, to do the deed. In addition, you have Emile Hirsch, Gina Gershon, and Thomas Hayden Church. Was it actually her that did this, or was it somebody else? I need to do some research here. Hold on one second. No, I was right. It was Juno Temple in here who, talk about a career renaissance in the 15 years since between year one and now, because she kills it in Fargo, and it's hard to believe that Michael Cera's girlfriend in year one has gone on to become one of those actresses that you see her in something that you're there right there, because she is a menacing force, but she's also, like, she's beautiful. She's that type of beautiful menace that plays well into a story like this. It's a beautiful looking woman, but you know she's got something sinister behind her in this case here, and it plays to that very, very well here. I think everybody in this movie does a fantastic job. Matthew McConaughey in particular, another movie that just shows you that, hey, this guy was a great dramatic actor back in the day, and he still can be. Like, this was when he was completely going away from the romantic comedies and going to what he does best, and that's just being a great dramatic actor that would eventually pave the way for him to get the Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club the following year. And again, you forget that William Friedkin directed this movie, and way to go out on a high note after a kind of a lackluster 20 years within your last really good movie overall, and now this. I mean, this is a really, really good movie, a very tension-filled movie, a good mystery that keeps you on the edge of your seat, lots of good talent all across the board. Not much more I can really add to this that hasn't already been said already. It's a terrific film, amazingly put together. Killer Joe, definitely a very underrated film that's worth checking out. So let's go ahead and move on to our last movie that we have here, which is the documentary Searching for Sugarman.
Rodriguez built a strong local following in South Africa and became a true folk hero in the 70s and the 80s. Searching for Sugarman contains all Rodriguez's hits, also included are 3 previously unreleased songs. See the movie, get the soundtrack.
So this is a documentary detailing the efforts in the late 1990s of 2 Cape Town fans, Steven Sugar Sugarman and Craig Bartholomew Sturdom, to find out whether the rumored death of American musician Sixto Rodriguez was true, and if not, to discover what had become of him. Rodriguez's music, which had never achieved success in the U.S., had become very popular in South Africa, although little was known about him there. And yeah, that's really how I felt when I first saw this the first time. Like, I knew nothing about this guy, but it's a fascinating little documentary. It's done by the same people that did Man on Wire, which is a really good documentary from a couple years ago. It's a really interesting film overall. A film about it's essentially kind of a real-life version of The Simpsons with Bleeding Gums Murphy, as somebody that nobody really knew about early on until he was long gone. And it's something that's kind of fascinating on so many levels. Like, it's a movie that really is a very fascinating look at somebody who was seen as kind of this musical genius in other places except for here. It's kind of like when you see, like, the character of Doraemon very popular all over the place. But when they do something in America, he's not as popular. Like, it's a very fascinating thing. You wonder, like, what happened to this person in general? Like, what is causing this to be the case there? And I think this movie did a very good job of reintroducing him to a lot of people in the world. It's very fascinating music when you really take a listen to it. And, it really makes you wonder, like, what really happened here. And the documentary does a very good job, but it doesn't give you the complete answers overall. It still makes you keep guessing on what happens afterwards. And there's times, and I've said it before with movies that have kind of an ambiguous ending, it works if you keep your audience invested in what's going on here. And a film like this does everything right that something like a movie, like a scripted movie like Swing Vote or The Devil Inside does, where it just basically tells you, come up with your own ending, fuckers. Like, no, you listen to this and it's just kind of like, it's very captivating stuff overall. We don't know anything about this guy and what's happened to him since this movie came out. It's still very much a mystery of whatever happened to him, and it's a very interesting film overall. It's definitely one worth checking out. It's definitely one of the best documentaries I've seen. Can't recommend this one enough. Searching for Sugarman. Seek it out if you can. And so on that note, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movie. What the hell was that? We wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies. I apologize for that. But next time we meet, we will jump into the first week of August 2012. And let me just tell you, it ain't a very good week. We've got the remake of Total Recall starring Colin Farrell, directed by Len Wiseman, who also has his wife all over the fucking movie. And that's right, he's pulling the Paul W.S. Anderson thing with Mila Jovovich. Now he's doing it with his wife here, and let me tell you, It's about as bad as Mila Jovovich in the Resident Evil movies. And trust me, this is only one movie where he does that. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the third installment of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, Dog Days. But we'll have at least one good movie on the show here. Rashida Jones and Andy Samberg starring in the romantic indie comedy Celeste and Jesse Forever. So 3 films to take a look at to kick off August. We'll do that on the next episode. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching us. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and don't forget to check out the last episode we did. So with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.